Hello, everybody, and welcome to the finale of Raging Reveals, where every day we've been talking about all of the announcement for Leagues 5, and with all the relics and everything left to be announced done today, this is indeed the final episode. And today we got a special live stream, basically doing all of the rest of the reveals, going over everything left that we still didn't know. And I thought it would be a fun idea to do that as a live react over in my Discord. So I just want to thank all the people who have been joining the community in the last couple of weeks with the league's preseason. The Discord has absolutely exploded, and it really means the world to me that there's so much conversation and so much discussion happening there. And I'm really glad we could have that fun little watch party and kind of just spend some time talking about it. That's honestly why this video is coming out so late. I was literally just nerding in the Discord with everybody for like 2 hours. Okay, let's go. Get to the reveals. Enough chit chat. It's 8 a.m. I woke up for this. I want to see some reveals. Let's go.
You can also do !Leagues Discord, and this is taking you to the community run Leagues Discord where you can chat with other RuneScape players all about your league.
Shout out to Leagues Discord. They're great. I pretty much made all my content just taking information from them. So, huge shout out to those guys. I also totally realized I'm blocking mod Halo, which is kind of lame of me. So I do apologize. I don't know where else to put myself though. Okay, finally, reveals. Let's go. Let's see them. Equilibrium's back. No way, dude. No way. Gain additional experience equal to 10% of your total level. Your lowest skill will receive 20%. Okay, well, we've seen that before. See the experience you've gained through Equilibrium via the skills tab. Is that... I've got one more thing. See the Pocket Kingdom giving you full access to Miscellanea? Workers will work for 50%. Always have max. So it's literally like a little it's like a mobile game. You get to play Miscellanea anywhere. Wow, I think this thing is really good. We need to take a look at. Is this the clue relic? Treasure Arbiter. 1 in 15 chance for implings and creatures that drop clue scrolls. Okay. 10 times more often clues. That's actually really good. That's a lot. All clues have the lowest number of steps and roll the maximum amount of rewards. Holy moly, dude. I think this thing with Clue Compass is super sick, but we don't know the tiers yet. Unless this is a brand new tier. Wait, is this a brand new tier? Do we have 8 tiers now? Oh my god, there's a Slayer relic too. Wait a minute. What's going on? All the Slayer perks. The music's changing too. Always on task? What? No way. Wait, that actually makes Slayer so ridiculously good. What? Including bosses? Do you get the Slayer Helm bonus though? No, wait, Slayer Master looks so cool now. Instantly process, and they added Production Master. Where is this going? How many tiers do we have? I don't understand. Where? How many tiers? Okay. No shot. That is so much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 tiers. Holy moly. With 3 each. That's so ridiculous.
Yep. 8 whole tiers.
Wow.
New relics to go through.
Wow. Okay, not gonna lie. I think Equilibrium sucks. I think this one is probably not gonna be very good, but it gives a lot of experience, so it's okay. I think this means Golden God is like locked in for me right now, man. I'm so excited for Golden God now. I think it's just going to solve my magic, solve my prayer too. Dude, tier 4 looks so juiced right now. I wish I knew how much points you need for tier 4 so I could just route straight there. Wait, that's kind of true though. It does give you a lot earlier. Okay, you know what? Getting this earlier actually makes it like a bit better. Like compared to like if this was tier 6, I would probably feel way more negatively about it, but like as a tier 4 relic, I feel like this will help you snowball in the early game, get a bit more experience, the same way that Golden God does, while also having more value late game. Also, this is 48 times faster. Yeah, that's actually pretty broken. I think this is probably just the best one now, right? Like, Forager still gives you farming experience. That is still a niche that it has, but yeah, I don't know, man. This feels crazy good. I think you can get mahoganies, you can get teaks, you can get herbs. Like, you can get a lot as soon as you can get this set up. And the coins is honestly not that much either. I think you toss like I mean, you'll toss like a 10 mil stack in
So
here, and also since
then
I'm golden,
we've also
if I'm going
seen,
golden god anyways, it's like
our
completely.
game
Yeah, I think this is just a pick.
now.
This is just a pick. Pocket Kingdom is insane.
So
This one I think is tough. Production Master on the same tier as Clues and Slayer. This is a hard tier, man. Dude, no, this thing is actually really good because you get all the Slayer task perks. So you don't really need anything. Yeah, I don't know. I think this like bestiary, like going and killing 100 of every monster instead of sitting and grinding out, like that sounds really cool. I don't know if it's actually like better than just sitting and killing like blood velds, but I really like this. Like I can't believe it, man. I'm sold on Slayer again. God damn it. How do they do it? All right. I think I'm out and they pull me back in. All right. We're back to Slayer. Especially if you go Mauritania and you have the Slayer helmet, you're basically getting the bonus everywhere that you're fighting. No longer have item requirements is pretty ridiculous though. I think I'm not going to take this year because I'm taking Clue Compass anyways. I don't think I'm taking this. I think Production Master is easily the worst. And I think that Clues and Slayer are definitely high up there, but I think Slayer's number one. You don't have Clue Compass, maybe you go for Clues, but I mean, you should just pick Clue Compass, I think. Oh, something that other people have pointed out, because it's my Discord right now, but you'll actually get the like Slayer bonus of always being on task and getting increased drop rates at revs. You'll be able to spawn superiors and stuff like that. You should always get that. And then same thing with like bosses too. I don't think bosses have the increased drop table, but basically you don't have to get like a Kraken task or any of that to start doing Kraken. Because yeah, there's gonna be like no Slayer restriction for like the Echo variant, but like you're gonna have to get a Hellhound task to go kill Serb in the first place. Now you can just pick up a task, go kill Serb, and just do whatever you want. You don't even really need the task, but you can like easily pick up the task now just to make it just so you're still completing like the task. Because I think there are still some tasks like leagues tasks related to completing a set amount of tasks. I kind of forgot with all this hype that like we do get to play the game at some point. Okay, so we're getting task lists like right before. Not really something to care about, but we get all the information. All the information of all the relics is basically available now, which is really insane. And we haven't ever gotten every single like detailed information about the relics this early, which I think is really cool. Gives people some more time to actually plan it out. Like, I really want to try to delay as much combat as I can now until tier 5, and then just start blasting Slayer on every single combat mob in the entire game. That's kind of been like my first thought as soon as I saw a Slayer relic was like, what if we just don't kill any goblins or any rats or any of that stuff, basically, and we save all of our combat grinds until we get to the Slayer relic. Okay, wait, I need to find out if Scurious gives you Slayer experience because that would be so sick.
Does Slayer Master allow you to spawn superiors or obtain brimstone keys from NPCs while not on task?
Ooh.
Yeah, because you're always
wow, that's crazy.
If you're
okay,
if
that's
got a
good.
Slayer Master relic, you're effective.
Okay, I'm trying to see right now if there's a way to see like if you can track the 100 mobs that you've killed for the Slayer one because I think filling out that bestiary is going to be like really it's like a codex, you know, you got to like kill 100 of every mob. Okay, so if you have Wildy and Zaya, you're going to get Larens and Brimstone. I think they said that, but man, that's so cool. That's a lot of keys. Yeah, shout out to all the Leagues team, man. Like they're so sick. They've put in so much good work and stuff like that, and they make the like preseason so fun because they're in the League's Discord, like chatting with people, answering questions. It's a lot of fun, man. Dude, this League's is so sick. Like there, oh my god, 8 tiers of relics, and we have combat masteries, and there's echo bosses. Like, dude, last League sucks compared to this. Like, what the heck? This League's is so much better. How do they keep doing this? How do they keep taking Leagues and just making it like 5 times better every single? I don't know. It's so ridiculous. And that's it for the reveals. Damn, that was good, man. We got a lot. I was expecting like 2 relics and maybe one more thing. That was pretty sweet. Yo, what are we thinking, guys? Was that not sick as hell?
Holy shit.
Incredible.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's all of the relics revealed. We've got 5 new relics to talk about today. And of course, 8 relics. Like, we got 8 relics. I didn't think that would happen. I thought we were only going to get 7. I was pretty sure we were only going to get 7, but no. We're getting 8. And hopefully you got to enjoy some of my live reaction to this stuff, which is very incoherent. And that's why I have to kind of be a little bit more scripted and calm when I actually make the videos. Now, I did want to talk about each individual relic, kind of talk about a couple of the benefits and some interesting interactions that we were chatting about in the Discord channel that some people brought up to me. So honestly, most of these aren't even my ideas. It's just things that they kind of bounced around with me that I think are worth talking about. And now that we know all of the relics and what tiers they're in, this really kind of opens the floor for further review. That's probably going to be its own comprehensive, like, relic review video. But I will kind of go through where I currently stand as far as what relics I'm leaning towards just off my first impressions. So, first up, Equilibrium is coming back basically exactly as it was. Now, I've ranked this relic really weak in previous leagues. I've always loved it from like a design standpoint, but I just felt like it didn't have enough interesting synergies, or it didn't really open up that many new possibilities. And it was always kind of just a passive experience bonus relic. However, if you are completely discounting this relic, I really want you to think about what it means to have Equilibrium at tier 4 versus tier 6 as it has been in previous leagues. In that early game of leagues, when you're still in your starting areas, maybe you have one region unlocked, your options are still pretty limited for all of your skills. And you're generally taking advantage of all the other relics that you picked to get a head start and, complete tasks for those specific skills, basically. The thing is, Equilibrium kind of allows you to get that same bonus for all of your weak skills. Every time you get an experience drop, you'll gain 10% of your total level as additional experience. Now, this is not multiplied by the league's multiplier. So let's say at the time you're about 500 total level, you're getting 50 extra experience to all of your skilling actions. This doesn't sound like a ton, but it will also be doubled if it is your lowest skill. I know in the past, people have thought that this means that your lowest skill just passively gets experience whenever you're training. That's not the case. It basically means that, let's say you've been neglecting mining and that's still level 1, but your total level is like 500. You'll be getting 20% of that, so 100 extra experience for all of your mining actions. Even if that's something as simple as like doing rune essence, you're just tacking on an extra 100 there. As a result, I think Equilibrium acts as a really interesting early game option to take as a relic, because it's going to help you round out those lower skills that just don't have access to very good training methods yet, and you're going to be getting that static, flat, extra amount added to all of your experience drops. There's tasks for almost all of the skills in the game, as well as tasks for having base level and reaching total level. And I really think Equilibrium is going to make those more appealing early on and allow you to sort of start training them faster than you might otherwise expect. So because you're getting this as early as tier 4, I think that the early game power of Equilibrium is the real draw here and something you should probably consider. Now, of course, a lot of people are probably thinking about Golden God. That's an even better early game relic, right? Because you're getting gold and prayer and magic, and just you start buying all your buyable skills. And don't get me wrong, that's really great. It is stronger early game than Equilibrium, but I mean, Equilibrium has always been incredibly powerful through the rest of your league's journey. It's just a more passive effect instead of this active bonus. If you have plans on maxing or going for 25 mil and 50 mil skills, Equilibrium is just going to give you so much extra experience over the course of your league season. So while it doesn't have that immediate early game power of Golden God, it also continues to help you through the rest of your leagues significantly more when gold just isn't really an issue for most players. And it still has, I feel like, an active component where you're trying to hit certain skills that you've probably been neglecting up until tier 4. Tier 4 is an incredibly hard choice just because there are like 6 reasonable options you could take here. I don't think you're going to double into the transportation relics. So there's really a lot to think about in this tier. And I think having a relic like Equilibrium with so many other skilling options that kind of just benefits everything all around. I don't know. I'm a little bit more interested in this than I originally thought. I kind of wrote it off right away, but I think that there is some good consideration that you should probably do. I still think Golden God is going to be more popular. I mean, no question about that. But I really do think that Equilibrium is going to be slept on, and it's going to come in handy more than people might expect. All right, next up, we've got Pocket Kingdom. This is going to be a tier 7 relic that's competing with Grimoire as well as Overgrown. And what this will allow you to do is access managing miscellanea from anywhere. You won't need Fremenic. You'll actually just have a little like pocket thing that you'll use to access that and be able to put money in, set your supplies, set your resources. You'll actually have a little item in your inventory that you can automatically manage the kingdom, collect resources, all that stuff basically. In addition, workers will work for 50% less coins and they'll always have 100%. So you're never going to have to actually like make them happy. That's probably the best part about this. And they also produce twice as many resources and they accrue resources every hour instead of every day. This is effectively 48 times resources from Miscellanea. Of course, the obvious question is what do you actually get from managing Miscellanea? And here's a chart going over how much you would make in a day. Remember that you're going to be getting 2 times this every hour. This also means you'll have to pay your workers every hour. However, this comes out to 37.5 thousand coins an hour. So it's like 40K an hour. I mean, it's really not that bad, right? Supplies include herbs, raw fish, coal, maple logs, teak logs, mahogany logs, and literally every seed. Okay, and before you comment, yes, not literally every seed. I see it. It says it right there. You can't get Hespori seeds. Thank you, YouTube comments. I know what you're going to say already ahead of time. So for me, the standouts are those herbs. You can get Ranars for prayer potions. Fish and coal doesn't really matter. Maple logs might be nice for fletching. And other than that, I'm really looking at those hardwood logs, teak and mahogany, to use for fletching, fire making, construction mainly. And of course, those seeds will really come in handy. I think this is going to be a very good access to hardwood seeds. And this is a big reason why I'm really leaning towards Pocket Kingdom over Overgrown for this tier. Sure, having your farming done is really nice, but keep in mind that with this, if you're able to get hardwood seeds, which usually you have to kill like Fossil Island wyverns for, you could just do like a mahogany tree run every single morning. It takes about 17 hours to grow. And if you get all 3 of them at 16 times rate, it's like 700K experience. And I don't really mind doing that. I still have a way of getting 99 farming without having to devote Overgrown to that. And this also gives you the added benefits as well. So if you really need Grimoire, I don't really care that much about the prayers, but maybe you want to get access to one of the other spell books, then go for Grimoire. But I think that this is otherwise the strongest relic of this tier. However, there's a big caveat coming up with the future relic. Now, coming back to League's Production Master, I know a lot of people have been asking for this after seeing the Gathering, like Endless Harvest style relics all be a part of tier 1. And basically, this will just instantly process any of your production activities. So smelting, smithing, crafting, fletching, cooking, all of those things will just all happen right at once and you'll get all the experience for it. And I'm not going to lie, I'm not a big fan of this relic. This is going to be part of tier 5. And I think that's just a little bit too late to really get value compared to what it was very early on when you could really pump some of your production skills and just get a massive like boost right off the gate. At the end of the day, production skills are already one of the most chill, one of the most like they're really easy to do. And I just don't think that this is giving you as much value as the other options, which we'll get into in just a bit. It also doesn't have any bonus perks like a chance to save or like a 50% chance to give you 2 times resources. So I just don't think that this is all that good. It's definitely nice. It get a little bit annoying like having to make potions and like cooking up food, but I don't think it's enough basically. And especially with things like Banker's Note, you could actually be doing a lot of this like skilling activities while you're doing other things. So I feel like it's losing a lot of value there when like, you know, in between boss kills you could be like cutting gems if you want to. Speaking of the rest of the tier, we also have a Treasure Arbiter. This is the Clue Scroll relic, and it's all the things that you would typically expect. You're getting a boosted drop rate for Implings. All the Gathering bottles are 10 times more frequent. And the big one for clues is that all Clue Scrolls have the lowest number of steps possible. And when you do complete a Clue Scroll, the casket will always roll the maximum amount of rewards. This makes Clue Scrolls incredibly strong, not just for completing. This makes Clue Scrolls incredibly strong as there's always a ton of points for completing clues. And there's also tasks for like, you know, getting collection log slots. So when you're rolling so many times and you're getting so many rewards, you really do kind of fill up that collection log and get access to a lot of points. Keep in mind, however, that they have said for this leagues, they're going to scale down the amount of points that come from clues. There's still going to be like a lot of tasks. It's just not going to feel as, I guess, mandatory as it's sometimes felt in previous leagues. And I think that this really changes the relic to be something that people who enjoy doing clues and they want to get points from, they can opt for this and kind of have fun with it because it is pretty fun actually doing clues when you're getting all these rewards. It's just not going to feel as like mandatory for people. And I think that's really good. In addition, Emote, Fallow, and Charlie Clue Steps no longer have item requirements. So that's an even bigger bonus. You don't even have to get a lot of these items. You're really going to be able to blast through them. Now, personally, I wasn't sure if I would go for a Clue Scroll relic because Clue Compass already exists, and that actually helps you get around places because, you know, you'll be able to teleport to your current active clue step, which already is speeding up clues quite substantially. However, what I considered was that by the time you're tier 5, you probably will have a good amount of clues starting to build up because clues are stackable for everybody. And combined with Clue Compass and Treasure Arbiter, I feel like you'll be able to very quickly process all of your clues and actually get all the rewards for them. And that's kind of the key thing here is there are a lot of rewards that you can get, and a lot of them are actually very good alchable items. And so I'm a little bit curious about possibly ditching Golden God and not really going for that, and instead choosing to go for Equilibrium, getting points from completing low skill tasks. And then once I transition into tier 5, combined with the Clue Compass, I'll be able to use this to very, very effectively complete a whole ton of clues that I've sort of collected by now. And that will kind of be my gold engine for the early game and kind of cover me for most of what I need. At the end of the day, magic, prayer, and gold, that's not the hardest skills to train. Like you can get that done relatively easy. And I know that having, an infinite gold stack allows you to do some things like access to the stonemason to, train your construction really fast. But I feel that with this clue scroll relic, along with just getting gold from PVM drops, I feel like 90% of the benefit of having that huge cash stack is sort of going to be met here. Like I should have more than enough coins to kind of do whatever I need. So that's something I'm considering. And I'll also retain that value of Equilibrium through the mid to late game where Golden God will kind of fall off. Okay, and throw away everything I talked about because we have the Slayer Relic, Slayer Master. This makes you always on task for all eligible Slayer monsters, and you'll also have all Slayer tasks, like all the perks, unlocked for free. This means you'll also get access to a rune pouch, an herb sack, and a looting bag completely for free, and you'll be able to skip and block tasks for free as well. This is kind of important because there's still a number of League's tasks that you get by completing like X amount of Slayer tasks. And while this effectively allows you to choose whatever Slayer task you want, you don't actually need a task. You'll still be able to skip and block very fast and get, appropriate tasks to complete those as fast as you want. Finally, there's this really cool perk of giving you bonus experience when you've killed a monster 100 times that I just love. I think it is such a cool and unique idea that's just going to be like I wish I knew if there's a way to see like maybe there's like a codex that you have to like open up. Maybe it's in your Slayer log and it tells you like how many you've killed so far and if you've gotten the Slayer and like which ones all qualify for this, because I think it's gonna be fun to like try to go through and actually like claim the experience for all the mobs. Now, the massive winners for this relic is going to be Mortania because it has access to the Slayer Helm, but also Zaya and the Wilderness as they have Brimstone keys and Laren's keys respectively. So basically any task you do, if you have Zaya unlocked, you'll get Brimstone keys. And I believe if you have the Wilderness and you're killing mobs in the Wilderness, you'll get Laren's keys. What do those chests offer? Well, a lot. You get gems, you get bars and ore, you get dragon arrow tips, dragon dart tips, magic logs, rock, just coins that you can use for whatever you'd like, pure essence that you can use for rune crafting, and a bunch of seeds that are very good for your farming as well as your herbler. Also get a ton of food as well, so that solves cooking and gives you a really good food source. You can get manta rays and sea turtles. These chests are absolutely stacked with resources and they solve so much of what other relics solve, and this is why I think Wilderness and Zaya are just like so incredible right now with this relic. I really feel like you'll be able to get just so much supplies. It's a big reason why I put that caveat for Pocket Kingdom, because a lot of the supplies that you're getting from Miscellanea are just better if you have access to this chest. The only real exception here is going to be like teaks and mahoganies, but again, you can get your construction done in another way. Now, I was a little bit curious about what eligible Slayer monsters means, as Leagues is a little bit weird. They have kind of unique Slayer lists, and not every monster is actually able to be assigned. And luckily, they've actually clarified that it's going to be pretty simple and intuitive. If your region has access to that monster, as it is literally exists in that region, you will be able to get it as a Slayer task. In the past, even if you had access to like the Catacombs of Karen, which have Bloodvelds, you actually needed to have, I believe, Kandarin or Mauritania in order to be able to actually go ahead and get them as a task. And now that's been kind of lifted. Basically, you'll be able to do any Slayer monsters in your area and also just be able to attack them and get experience. I believe this also means things like Scurious, so hopefully that's going to be a wonderful source of experience early on to just, you're training your combats anyways, also getting Slayer done. And I really love how one thing about being able to pick your own Slayer task is that everybody just gravitated towards the same tasks. Everybody would do like Blood Velds or Necrials or Dust Devils. And now, if it is crowded and somebody's already there, well, you can go and maybe do like Aberrant Specters instead, right? And go kill 100 of them and claim that little bonus. And maybe it's not quite as fast as Blood Velds. I mean, I don't know, but you're still getting some pretty good experience there. And then you can kind of move on to the next Slayer monster and keep going, so on and so on. And I think that progression of kind of working your way through 100 kills is actually going to be a lot of fun. And I'm really excited. And that's why I'm super sold on Slayer Master. I'm really trying to see if I can fit Zaya into my regions right now because it's tough. But either way, I think having access to the Slayer helmet and being able to use that for like all the Echo bosses, I mean, that's just going to be a lot of fun. So here's all of the relics in one nice big list. 8 tiers is not what I expected, but I mean, I'm really excited. It's a lot to pick from. In addition, there's also some information regarding how many tasks you'll need to unlock your first region and how many points you'll need to unlock your second relic, as the first relic is unlocked right at the start. And that's going to be 90 points for the first region and 750 points for the second relic. And there's also some evidence to believe tier 3 will require 1500 points and tier 4 will require 2500 points. This essentially means that my day 1 route has been made obsolete within a day of posting it. I really am cursed with these things, huh? Luckily, I'm already working on a new extended edition version of the day 1 route that's going to go up all the way to 2500 points, as I feel that tier 4 is really where the game starts to open up with Golden God or Equilibrium or doubling down on one of those earlier relics. And it should be about 150 tasks or so. I don't know if it's quite going to get you to the second region, but if you go to your first region, there should be plenty of tasks to kind of get you the rest of the way. Before I end this video, I want to kind of go over what I've been thinking about and what my initial impression of my full relic choice is. For my build, I've been calling it Fodum Ranged or Flavor of the Month because it's Fremennik, Tiranwin, and Mauritania with a ranged build. The idea there being to go to Tiranwin to get the blowpipe. The jewelry from Fremennik will kind of give me all of the DPS and the power that I need. And then Mauritania will be my raid region, so I still have access to things like the Twisted Bow or the full Justiciar set, and I think that's going to be a lot of fun too. As for my relics, I think I'm going to go with Animal Wrangler because Tiranwin does have red chins. I've also considered Lumberjack. However, I think I'm okay doing Teaks and Tiranwin, and I would rather have the extra benefit to get like the early hunter tasks and those early fishing tasks, things like catching like implings. That's all pretty annoying. Next, I want to go Dodgy Deals. There's a lot of early game thieving tasks that I think are going to be very easy to do with this relic. And between Elves and Tiranwin and Vyres and Mauritania, I think there's a lot of really good thieving options and a lot of tasks I could be getting. In particular, Elves and Tiranwin, with all the crystal shards you get, will give you crafting, smithing, and I think that's going to be a very powerful relic. For my third choice, I want to go with Clue Compass. I really think it's just a novel pick. It's going to be fun, kind of rethinking the game with stashes in mind. And I think it's also going to help me get all of my clues done without necessarily having to go for the clue relic over in tier 5. Next, I'm leaning towards Golden God as it will pair very well. Next, I'd like to go Golden God as getting that extra gold in the early game I think is just going to be really beneficial. And on top of that, it's going to pair nicely with Fremennik as I'll have access to the Stonemason and be able to do some of those more insane construction methods and just blast my way through. I'm still really considering Equilibrium. I don't know 100%. I probably have to give it a bit of thought because it's a little bit, I guess, tougher. Whereas Golden God, just you have a lot of money. It's easy, very simple to use. I just think that Equilibrium might end up scaling better through the mid to late game, and it might help me with my skills at this point, whereas Golden God is not helping me as much. In tier 5, I'm pretty much going Slayer Master, like 100%. I think this relic is just so cool, and being able to use it along with the Slayer helmet from Mauritania is just going to be a lot of fun. I'm still really trying to see if I can fit Zaya somehow. Maybe I'll drop Tiranwin, but I really like the blowpipe, so I don't want to drop Fremennik. I don't want to drop Mauritania. Like, it's really hard here, so I'm just not sure. Even outside of that, I think it's just going to be the best relic here. I'm still going to have access to a lot of, I guess, good experience and good supplies from actually doing so much Slayer tasks. Tier 6 is basically a lock for me. I'm going for Total Recall, like 100%. I just think it's going to be a lot of fun to use, and that's why I'm kind of locked in on it. Tier 7's a little tricky. I originally wanted to go with Grimoire, but I just don't know if I care that much about getting those prayers. If I go Zaya, I get Rigor anyways, but I mean, I don't know. I kind of just feel fine not going Grimoire and just giving up that damage. And instead, I think I'm actually going to go with Pocket Kingdom. Without having access to Laren's chest or the Brimstone chest, I feel like Pocket Kingdom is going to give me those materials that I do need, mainly the hardwood trees, so I can do my farming and not really have to worry about it too much. Right now, farming and herbal are definitely my weakest points of the build. That's why I'm also possibly considering even going for like friendly forager just to have a massive stream of herbs. But I think Pocket Kingdom kind of does that better. It'll give me herbs, it'll give me seeds, and I think I'm pretty happy with that choice. Finally, I'm going to go with Last Stand, as I think this is the most interesting relic in the last tier. The Last Stand effect, where you're fighting on the brink of death for 10 seconds and just doing as much amp damage as possible, I think that's going to be a lot of fun. And also like a 10-second immunity window with the blowpipe where I can just sit still and just do as much damage as possible. I think that's going to go very well for those moments where I do make a mistake, or maybe I just want to tank a mechanic and just do as much damage as I can. That's my build, and I don't know, things might change. I really want to see if I could go for Zaya instead, because I think it pairs nicely with Slayer, but I also don't want to give up Mauritania, and it's really tough right now. But I'm pretty happy with where it's at, so I'll probably just let it sit here. And that's all for today's announcements. I really wanted to thank you all for watching these every day. It's been so much fun getting to share the announcement and seeing what you guys all think about it. If I total recall back to last year, the growth on the channel has just been so amazing since the last leagues, and it's really been my pleasure to kind of come back and be able to do the same thing this year as well. All of the comments and discussion is really what makes it worth waking up every morning to do this, and I really appreciate you all for it. Finally, I want to give a huge shout out to the JMods working on the Leagues team. You've all been so incredibly supportive of my channel, and I really can't stress enough how much that means to me. And I also wanted to thank the Leagues Discord. You've not only been an encyclopedia of information, but a wonderful community of friends. With that, I wrap up this year's season of Raging Reveals, and I look forward to seeing you in Lumbridge for Leagues 5. Thank you.